When you sit alone in silence, have you ever truly listened to the hum beneath your thoughts? That subtle pulse behind every idea, every image, every fleeting worry or hope that dances through your mind. It is not random. It is not meaningless. It is energy. And it shapes everything you experience. Thoughts are not harmless passengers in your life. They are the architects of it. Each thought carries a vibration, a frequency rippling outward into the fabric of the universe. This is not merely poetic philosophy, it is a truth echoed by the findings of quantum physics. That energy is neither created nor destroyed, only transferred and transformed. Your thoughts, therefore, are not trapped within the walls of your mind. They reach out, they mingle with reality, they draw toward you experiences that match their tone. When the Stoics taught about the power of perception, they were not merely offering advice for peace of mind. They were giving us the key to unlocking the very direction of our lives. Marcus Aurelius, sitting atop the greatest empire of his age, understood it deeply. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What he was saying is that our internal energy, the color, the tone, the frequency of our thoughts, shapes not just how we feel but what we become. But here lies the challenge. Most people are unconscious of this force. Their thoughts run wild, unexamined, like a river without banks, carving chaotic paths across the landscape of their lives. They live in cycles of negativity without ever realizing that the walls that imprison them are self-built, brick by brick, belief by belief. Limiting beliefs form the invisible barriers around dreams. I'm not good enough. Things never work out for me. Success is for others, not for people like me. These are not facts. They are habits, patterns of energy played on loop so many times that they feel like reality itself. But habits can be broken. Energy can be redirected. And life can be transformed. To begin, you must first become the observer of your own mind. Watch your thoughts with the curiosity of a philosopher, not the judgment of a critic. When fear surfaces, do not condemn yourself for it. Instead, trace it back to its source. See how it formed. Understand that it is merely a reflex, a well-worn path in the brain. And paths can be changed. The first practice is painfully simple and profoundly powerful. Write your negative thoughts down. Drag them out of the shadows where they have multiplied unchecked. See them on paper. Then one by one challenge them. Convert each one into an affirmation of its opposite. If the mind whispers, "I am weak," respond with, "I am stronger than I know." If it says, "I will fail," answer with, "Every challenge builds my resilience." This act is not about blind optimism. It is about reclaiming your role as the shaper of your energy. Every time you rewrite a thought, you adjust the frequency you emit. You begin to tune yourself to a different reality. The Stoics knew that virtue is a matter of daily discipline, not sudden revelation. Similarly, transforming your inner world is not a single moment of enlightenment, but a process, a daily tending of the mental garden, a careful cultivation of thoughts that uplift rather than entangle. Visualization magnifies this process. Take 1 minute, just 60 seconds, to vividly imagine the reality you desire. Feel it. Embody it. Not someday, not hypothetically, now. Your body cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. The same chemical reactions flood your system, reinforcing the new energy pathways you are building. This is not wishful thinking. It is mental conditioning. It is the slow but steady rewriting of the blueprint by which your life unfolds. Yet there is something even deeper at play. Beneath the mind's chatter lies the quiet, powerful pulse of the heart. Science has shown that the heart's electromagnetic field is 60 times greater in amplitude than that of the brain, and thousands of times stronger in magnetic power. In other words, your feelings, the emotions you nurture, broadcast your energy signature far more powerfully than your fleeting thoughts. This is why it is not enough to think positively while feeling fear and doubt. You must align your mind and heart. You must train your emotions just as you train your thoughts. Gratitude, compassion, courage, these are not just virtues. They are energetic forces that reshape your presence in the world. Energy management, then, is not about control. It is about awareness. You do not have to fight every negative thought. You do not have to eradicate every doubt. You simply need to recognize them, choose again, and consistently return to the energy you wish to embody. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse, not a ship battered by every storm. The storms of life will come and go. But if you stand rooted in your energy, clear in your light, you guide yourself and others through the chaos. This is the work. This is the practice. And it begins with a single decision: to take responsibility for your thoughts, to cultivate your energy like a sacred fire, and to remember always that the world you see is a mirror of the frequency you carry. Focus your mind. Guard your heart. Shape your energy with care. Because you are not merely thinking your life into existence, you are vibrating it into being. If you truly wish to transform your reality, you must first understand how limiting beliefs weave themselves into the very fabric of your daily life. They do not announce themselves as obstacles. They disguise themselves as facts, as harmless observations. Yet they quietly poison every endeavor before it has the chance to blossom. You must learn to catch them in the act. Pay attention to the small voice that hesitates before you take a risk. The inner commentary that critiques you before you even begin. Notice how it sounds like reason when in truth it is fear clothed in logic. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe it's better to wait. Maybe I'll embarrass myself. These are not insights, they are the echoes of past wounds. And the longer you listen, the deeper those neural pathways become. The more natural it feels to doubt yourself. But natural does not mean inevitable. What feels instinctive today can become foreign tomorrow if you have the courage to retrain your mind. Begin with small victories. Challenge one limiting belief each day. Write it down. Examine it. Argue with it. And then replace it. Tell yourself a different story, one rooted not in fear but in potential. You are not too late. You are not too inexperienced. You are not an imposter. You are exactly where you need to be to take the next step. Understand this, thoughts are habits. And habits are changed not by force but by repetition. Every moment you become aware of a negative loop and gently steer your mind in a different direction, you are laying down a new track. At first, the old tracks will call to you. They will feel easier, faster, more familiar. But with time, the new path becomes the preferred path. And with enough persistence, it becomes your nature. But it is not only mental reframing that matters. The body too must be engaged. The posture you hold throughout the day sends powerful signals to your brain about who you are and how you feel. Slumped shoulders, shallow breathing, head down, these are not just effects of sadness or defeat, they are also causes. They reinforce the energetic signature of limitation. Stand tall. Breathe deeply. Move deliberately. Act as though you believe in yourself even on the days when doubt lingers. Especially on those days. Because action feeds belief. The Stoics knew this deeply. They taught that it is not our feelings that should dictate our actions, but our actions that should train our feelings. Courage is not the absence of fear, but action in the presence of it. So act. Even when your mind wavers. Even when your heart trembles. Act according to the person you wish to become, and you will slowly but inevitably become that person. This is the true alchemy of thought into reality, not simply dreaming of change but living it moment by moment, choice by choice. And here is another key often forgotten. Allow your emotions to become your allies, not your enemies. The heart's electromagnetic field is not a metaphor. It is measurable, tangible, and powerful. When you nurture emotions like gratitude, hope, and love, you are not merely feeling better, you are broadcasting a signal that attracts experiences of the same frequency. Energy flows where attention goes. If you dwell on fear, fear expands. If you nurture appreciation, more to appreciate will appear. Not by magic, but by the invisible laws of resonance. Gratitude, then, is not simply a moral virtue. It is a practical strategy for energetic alignment. Start each morning by listing 3 things you are genuinely grateful for. Not to impress anyone. Not to perform spirituality. But to tune your energy like tuning an instrument to the frequency you wish to carry into the day. When setbacks come, as they inevitably will, view them through this lens. What is this teaching me? How is this shaping me into someone stronger? What new possibilities might this challenge reveal? Resist the urge to collapse into old narratives of defeat. Every obstacle is energy presenting itself in a different form, a test not of your worth but of your focus. Respond not with despair but with clarity. Observe your reactions. Do not rush to suppress them or dramatize them. Witness them, understand them, and choose your next move with deliberate calm. This is what the Stoics called apatheia, not indifference but mastery over one's internal responses. Not the absence of emotion but the absence of domination by emotion. You do not have to be free of fear to move forward. You only have to be free of fear's command over your life. Hold your power gently like water in your hands. Tighten your grip and you lose it. Relax your grasp and you retain it. Energy is fluid. Let it flow through you. Guide it, nurture it, but do not try to cage it. And above all, remember this. The reality you experience is not dictated by external circumstances. It is created, shaped, and filtered by the frequency of your own mind and heart. Guard that frequency with the utmost reverence. Because it is not the world that makes you who you are. It is who you are that shapes the world you live in. The mind is a powerful instrument, but left untrained, it becomes a dangerous one. Without direction, it will amplify every worry, every imagined failure, until they seem bigger than life itself. To master the mind is to reclaim the architect's pen from chaos and to begin, deliberately, to sketch the life you truly seek. One of the simplest yet most profound tools for this is positive affirmation combined with visualization. This is not about mindless chanting or pretending problems don't exist. It is about consciously choosing the soil in which your thoughts will take root. Every morning, before the noise of the world enters your mind, take a moment. Sit in silence. Breathe. And write. Write down the fears that haunt you. The doubts that whisper when you are alone. Do not judge them. Expose them to the light. And then transform them. For every fear, craft its opposite affirmation. If you fear, I am not good enough, write instead, I am growing stronger and wiser every day. If you doubt, I will fail, affirm, I have everything within me to succeed. Do not write what you hope to believe someday. Write what you are choosing to believe today. And then close your eyes and visualize, not vaguely, not distantly, but vividly, the person you become when you live these truths. See it, feel it, as if you are stepping into a new skin, inhabiting a new world. This practice, done sincerely, will shift your inner landscape in ways that reverberate into every aspect of your external life. But it is not enough to think differently. You must also feel differently. The heart's electromagnetic field, as measured by science, is up to 60 times greater in amplitude than the brain's electrical field. This is not an abstract metaphor, it is a tangible force, influencing not only your own biology but the environment around you. When you cultivate emotions like joy, gratitude, and compassion, you are not only nourishing yourself, you are emitting a signal that draws similar energies to you. This is why how you move through your day matters as much as what you think. Rushing through tasks with tension and anxiety, even if you think positive thoughts, will cancel out much of your energetic work. On the other hand, moving with presence, breathing deeply, holding an inner smile, these simple habits elevate your frequency far more than 100 hours of strained effort. It is in your daily habits that your energetic signature is sealed. Be mindful of the small things. The way you start your morning. The way you react when something unexpected happens. The way you speak about yourself and others. The way you carry your body as you walk through the world. Each of these moments is a brushstroke painting the portrait of your future. And in this, non-resistance becomes your greatest ally. Most people waste their energy fighting reality, wishing circumstances were different, resisting what is. But resistance creates friction. Friction creates fatigue. Fatigue leads to bitterness and surrender, not the wise surrender of acceptance, but the bitter surrender of defeat. Instead, accept reality as it is. Not with passivity, but with clarity. See the facts. Accept them fully. And then ask, given what is the next wise step? This shift, from resistance to engagement, transforms energy loss into energy mastery. When obstacles arise, do not curse them. Study them. Bless them even. Every challenge is a gym for the soul, an opportunity to become more of who you are capable of being. You do not become strong by avoiding resistance. You become strong by leaning into it intelligently. And herein lies the quiet secret few understand. True power comes not from controlling the external world, but from mastering your internal response to it. The Stoics did not preach escapism or naive optimism. They taught a form of radical empowerment, to govern the only domain that is truly yours, your own mind, your own heart, your own soul. Imagine carrying that level of calm mastery into every room you enter. Imagine the energy you would radiate, the respect you would command without saying a word, the opportunities that would naturally gravitate toward you. Not because you chased them desperately, but because you became a magnet for them. This is not fantasy. It is the inevitable outcome of living in alignment with your truest, highest frequency. You do not need to force success. You need only to align with the version of you who naturally attracts it. Energy is not created by effort alone. It is shaped by intention, by presence, by unwavering trust in your own inner stability. The calmer your mind, the clearer your path. The deeper your gratitude, the greater your abundance. The more you trust the process, the more swiftly you move toward your destiny. Not through panic, not through tension, but through focused, resilient, inspired action. Every thought is a seed. Every emotion is water. Every action is sunlight. What you cultivate internally will inevitably blossom externally. So choose with care. Tend your inner garden with devotion. And watch as the world rearranges itself in response to the quiet, unshakable strength you now carry. There is a silent power in those who have learned the art of long-term energy cultivation. They move differently through the world, Not rushed, not desperate, but with the steady grace of one who knows their time will come. And more importantly, that their very being is already the success they seek. Sustaining your energy is not about chasing momentary highs or clinging to motivational bursts. It is the slow, deliberate crafting of an internal ecosystem where clarity, focus, and peace thrive. This is a discipline. It begins with awareness. Each day, ask yourself simple but powerful questions. Where is my energy leaking? What habits are draining my spirit? Which people, environments, or thoughts are uplifting me, and which are silently pulling me downward? Awareness without judgment. Observation without shame. This is the first step to mastery. And once you see clearly, you must have the courage to choose differently. The path of growth demands sacrifice. Not sacrifice of joy or freedom, but sacrifice of the distractions, the toxic patterns, the shallow comforts that seduce you into stagnation. You are not here to live a life of emotional reactivity, pulled this way and that by every whim of circumstance. You are here to become the calm center of your own universe. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse amidst a raging sea. Ships depend on you for direction. Storms crash, winds howl, waves batter, but you stand firm, anchored not by external conditions, but by an unbreakable inner structure. This is the energy you must cultivate through daily practice. And make no mistake, it is built through small, consistent acts. Waking up and choosing presence over distraction. Responding to stress with breath instead of panic. Honoring your commitments even when comfort calls louder. Feeding your mind with ideas that uplift rather than pollute. Moving your body, caring for your vessel, respecting the home of your spirit. Each small choice compounds. Each day of discipline strengthens your energetic signature. Over time, your presence becomes undeniable. You walk into rooms and people feel it, not because you demand attention but because your energy speaks louder than your words ever could. You will attract opportunities not by chasing them frantically, but by becoming the kind of person opportunity recognizes as its rightful home. Long-term energy cultivation also means embracing seasons. There will be seasons of expansion, of action, creation, outward movement. And there will be seasons of contraction, of rest, reflection, inward retreat. Honor both. Do not force constant growth. Nature herself moves in cycles. The tree does not bear fruit all year round. It knows to shed its leaves, to hibernate, to gather strength unseen before it blooms again. Trust your own seasons. When fatigue whispers, listen. When stillness calls, honor it. When inspiration surges, ride it with full-hearted presence. The wise do not resist the tides of life. They dance with them. And through this dance, they gather power in a way frantic effort never could. Another crucial element is your emotional energy hygiene. Every resentment you carry, every grudge you nurture, is an invisible leak in your energetic field. Forgiveness is not about excusing harm, it is about reclaiming your power. To forgive is to sever the energetic cord that keeps you bound to past pain. It is an act of profound self-respect, a statement. I will not carry the weight of what others have done. I choose freedom. Similarly, envy, comparison, and judgment are parasites that siphon your vitality. The moment you catch yourself comparing your journey to another's, gently return to yourself. Your path is sacred. Your timing is perfect. Your growth is your own. Bless others on their journey, and trust your own with renewed devotion. This practice alone will liberate oceans of energy you didn't realize you were bleeding out. Lastly, understand that thoughts shape reality, but thoughts backed by feeling and action reshape it even faster. Visualization is powerful, but it must not be passive daydreaming. It must be embodied, emotional, and paired with inspired movement. Each morning, visualize yourself as already aligned with your highest potential. Feel the emotions that this version of you lives in daily: gratitude, excitement, peace, love. And then, take even one small action from that energy. Not because you have to. Not because you are desperate to make it happen. But because action is a natural overflow when you are truly aligned internally. This is how you build momentum that no obstacle can withstand. This is how you transform your entire life. Not through force but through energetic coherence. You do not need to figure it all out today. You do not need to control every variable. You need only to focus every day on aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the truth of who you are becoming. From that alignment, mountains move. Paths clear. Opportunities unfold in ways you could not have plotted or predicted. Not because you forced the universe to obey you, but because you finally became a match for the life you were destined to live. This is the path of inner mastery. This is the power of tending your energy first, and letting everything else be drawn into orbit around the light you now carry. Stay steady. Stay present. Stay true to the quiet voice within. The world will feel it, and life will rise up to meet you. If this resonated with you, subscribe to Stoic Way for more timeless wisdom. Comment below, how are you learning to manage your inner energy differently today, and what shifts have you already started noticing?